Yo guys, welcome back to King Oles. And yes, obviously this past weekend we saw a very early stoppage in the fight between Virgil Ortiz and Fredrick Lawson, where referee Tony Weeks stepped in and for most of the punches that Ortiz was throwing and the combos were either to the body of Fredrick Lawson, or they were being blocked upstairs by Lawson. So it was a really, really, really strange stoppage. Ortiz was always going to win. You could tell by from as soon as the bell went, it was only going one way. But Tony Weeks, the referee for this fight, obviously has been in many controversial stoppages recently. Recently, 2 in the last 8 months or something it is. Obviously with the Barroso and Rowley fight, and now this one, Virgil Ortiz versus Fredrick Lawson. But he might have just exposed Golden Boy here, even though Golden Boy have denied this, and Fredrick Lawson hasn't actually said anything though. So yeah, but this is what referee Tony Weeks had to say, the guy who stopped the fight. So he said, what the public didn't know, that prior to the fight, they did a brain scan on him and it came up that he had an aneurysm, and they did a test again and it came up again. Another doctor was brought in and gave him the examination and he tested negative for the aneurysm, so they cleared him to fight. Okay, so it's weird. So apparently, Fredrick Lawson, tested positive for an aneurysm twice, and then apparently, another doctor did an examination, and it came negative, so they cleared him to fight. This is a weird one, to be honest with you, because they denied the claims. Golden Boy ended up denying the claims, but then you look at it and another doctor did an examination on him and cleared him to fight. So a doctor did clear him to fight, though, Fredrick Lawson. A doctor did end up clearing Fredrick Lawson to fight, but he did fail. He did fail an examination twice for an aneurysm. And an aneurysm obviously is a abdominal swelling or bulge in the wall of a blood vessel, such as an artery. So it's a pretty serious one, to be honest with you. And if Fredrick Lawson had this aneurysm, or had an aneurysm coming into the fight, then why is he allowed to fight? And that's on Golden Boy. That is on Golden Boy for doing that. That they should not have let him fight. Golden Boy, clearly were pushing really hard to get this fight over the line, and the fact that they've allowed it to happen though is it's honestly a disgrace. But Tony Weeks did say though, another doctor was brought in and gave him an examination, and he tested negative for the aneurysm, so they cleared him to fight. So in a way, Fredrick Lawson was cleared to fight. So again, could that stoppage be on Tony Weeks again, though? Because if he was cleared to fight, then surely it's all right, though. I know the whole situation seems so confusing, to be honest with you. Honestly, it's a really, really, really weird one. But if he failed the examination twice, though, for an aneurysm, where it's a serious thing, you should not allowed to be able to fight if you've got it. If you failed it twice, you should not allowed to be to fight. So everyone involved in that is an absolute disgrace. If you're allowing Fredrick Lawson to fight, if he has an aneurysm, should not be allowed to happen. But the thing is that it said he was cleared by a doctor, though, when he did have an examination. So he was cleared to fight. So in a way, you look at it and you're like, why is Tony Weeks doing this if he was cleared in the end, though? Why is he stopping at that? I don't know. I mean, clearly, Tony Weeks, finds it quite suspicious that, he failed to, and then somehow he magically just passes one of the examinations for it. So, look, Tony Weeks clearly does care about the fighter's health. Obviously, he does. But, so, I don't know. Fredrick Lawson failed 2 examinations. So, it's Golden Boy who's basically being exposed here for letting the fight go ahead, basically. I feel like there's so much to this whole thing, in my opinion. It's a really, really, really strange situation. A really strange situation. And, you know, anyway, like, yeah, you can't really fully put that whole blame onto Tony Weeks. But apparently, Tony Weeks did admit, though, that Fredrick Lawson was clear to fight going into that Virgil Ortiz fight. So he was clear to fight, but he did fail 2 of the examinations beforehand anyway, which is a really, really weird, really strange one. Let's have a look at it. So he did it. So yeah, they did it twice. He tested positive for an aneurysm twice. Then another doctor was brought in and gave him the same examination, and he tested negative for the aneurysm, so they cleared him to fight. I don't know. It's a weird situation. Like, we don't know the whole situation, so you can't fully put the blame on. Something. That's why I've got the question marks next to Golden Boy possibly exposed, because you don't know, because Tony Weeks had said he was clear to fight, but again, though, I don't get why Fredrick Lawson's being allowed to fight if he's got an aneurysm, and Oscar De La Hoya has to be called out for that. Oscar De La Hoya, Bernard Hopkins, everyone involved needs to be called out for it, in my opinion, if that is the case. But the fact he failed it twice, though, and then just before the fight or something, he tested negative for it. I don't know. It's a really, really, really strange situation, to be honest with you. But yeah, anyway, gonna end this video here. Thanks for watching the video, okay? I'll speak to you in a bit. Thanks for watching.